A minister wrote off a Ferrari, Maserati, and a boat. The IRS had some questions.
Now the business looking clean, money coming through. Everybody asking who helped me break through. That tax guru got me thinking bigger now. That tax guru ain't no.
I'm Tyrone Taylor, enrolled agent. This is case file 024. A minister wrote off Ferraris, a Maserati, and a boat. Then the IRS looked closer. Before somebody says that yes, a business can actually own a Ferrari, that wasn't the problem. The problem was how these expenses were being used, how they were being reported, and whether there were records to back them up. Coontz was a minister, author, and speaker who talked about faith and finances. He also controlled a ministry for two for-profit businesses. And between 2011 and 2013, entities he controlled purchased two Ferraris, three BMWs, a Maserati, a Land Rover, and a boat. According to federal prosecutors, some of those vehicles were used by family members, but payments associated with them were treated as business expenses. And prosecutors said there were no records documenting their claimed business use. Now here's your first tax lesson. Just because your business buys something doesn't automatically make it a business deduction. The company's name on the title doesn't decide that. You still have to look at actual business use versus personal use, proper tax treatment, and documentation. And the cards were just the beginning. Businesses and the ministry also paid more than $227,000 for clothing and more than $140,000 for meals and entertainment. Prosecutors even identified more than 400 movie theater charges. But this case wasn't only about questionable expenses. There was also income that prosecutors said wasn't being fully reported. When Coontz traveled to churches for speaking engagements, his ministry paid the travel expenses. The churches would then reimburse those expenses. But according to prosecutors, Coontz had reimbursement checks made payable directly to him and sent to his personal address. He cashed the checks instead of putting them through accounts where they would appear in the ministry's accounting records. And then there was another twist. Prosecutors said churches were sometimes billed for full fare first-class airline tickets, even though the tickets actually purchased cost substantially less. The difference became additional income to Coontz. And it wasn't just travel reimbursements. Payments for speaking engagements, books, and other products were also made directly to him. Between 2010 and 2013, prosecutors said at least 102 checks totaling more than $252,000 were concealed in cash. And the income was not fully reported on his tax returns. So now you have two things happening at the same time. Personal expenses being treated as business expenses and income being kept outside the normal accounting system. That's where this story becomes an important lesson for business owners. Your bookkeeping has to reflect what actually happened. Calling something a business expense doesn't make it one. And cashing a check instead of depositing it into your business account doesn't make taxable income disappear. Coontz also had a long history of problems paying his taxes. According to prosecutors from approximately tax year 2000 to 2014, he repeatedly filed returns late and failed to timely pay taxes. For 2011 through 2013 alone, he accumulated more than $326,000 in tax liabilities. His CPA had even warned him about commingling personal and business funds. Eventually, this went to federal court. Coontz did not plead guilty. A jury convicted him of 3 counts of failure to pay taxes, 4 counts of aiding and assisting in filing false federal income tax returns, and in January 2019, a federal judge sentenced him to 5 years in prison and ordered him to pay $755,000 in restitution. My tax guru take? The Ferrari gets the attention, but the Ferraris aren't really the lesson. The lesson is simple. Your business can pay for almost anything. That doesn't mean your business can deduct it. If there's personal use, business use, or a mixture of both, you need to understand the proper tax treatment, and you need records. The same thing applies to income. Whether you deposit the check, cash a check, or keep it outside your bookkeeping system, that doesn't determine whether it's taxable. The facts do. Keep your personal and business spending separate. Document your business expenses. And make sure your books reflect what actually happened. because putting business expenses in the accounting records doesn't automatically make it one. Follow that tax guru if you want to learn how the tax system actually works through real federal tax cases, real tax crimes, real court cases, real lessons, that tax guru tax crime file stories.
Yeah. 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 Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Late nights, numbers on the dashboard, trying to survive all the bill stack. Hard mailbox full of pressure, I was losing sleep. Every single week felt deeper than deep. Then I changed the way I move, changed the way I plan. Turned stress into strategy, finally took a stand. Now the business looking clean, money coming through. Everybody asking who helped me break through. That tax